All right, guys. Hey, I just wanted to make a touch base here with a few important updates. I'll just try to make this quick. The reason for this video, you guys know me, my tracker. This is your bread and butter. This is like the central hub. You know, you all that have been listening to me for the last number of weeks should be no secret this thing exists. Again, I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to go over it. See other videos if you want to know how to use this thing. All the websites and places to more or less stir up the pot and attack these fools. Ecomm Partnerships. If you feel you're a victim, if you feel there's any wrongdoing, again, this is my opinion, and I am not accusing anybody. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a judge. I'm documenting my experience and just getting out awareness. And so you all know what this is about. So real quick, I added a few new things. It's definitely around this case that they've been sued. Well, they've been filed on. We're all going to want to follow that outcome. I already talked about the lawyer, Colin. I already uploaded. Here is a point where you can download the actual legal filing complaint that he actually sent me, and then I used ChatGPT to just summarize that 17 pages of complaints. So you know, combing through that, trying to understand a lot of the legal language can be kind of a little bit overwhelming. So there's just a plain English summary there for people who just want to you know, get the main nuts and bolts out. So this is good stuff here. Okay, so I kind of organized all of, you know, Bizopedia ripoff report. I talked about that one. That's a really, really good site that promotes freedom of speech. Trustpilot, that one, just be careful. Again, here, I'm going to just jump down here. Use ChatGPT to help write your complaints. Don't just rant like you're pissed off and start name dropping and drop a bunch of links, because that shit will get flagged, because these websites don't like people like that ranting. You gotta just, you know, if you know how to play the game, you can get good reviews up there without acting like a half-cocked idiot. Like, mainly I rant here. I couldn't get away with that if I would, like, you know, talk the way I talk here with, you know, like profanity and cursing and just like the, you know, my blunt style. That shit'll get kicked off of like sites, you know, if you leave a Google review, if you go on Trustpilot, if you go on these sites. So just be wary of that. You know, I know there's some snowflakes out there, specifically one guy who had a problem with my profanity on here, and I wanted to address that real quick. I'm not going to name him because he knows who he is. He had left a comment. He had reached out to me that a couple years ago. He's been screwed over by these guys. And the funny thing about it is, and I'm just going to say it once, if you have a problem with the way I deliver my message here, if you have a problem of bluntness, if you have a problem with my aggression, if you have my problem with my hatred and my need to really expose Irwin Soto and Donny Doquisa and these fucks, these scumbags, these two pricks, if you have a problem with that, then take a hike and get off my channel. I don't care what you think. I don't need the pushback. If you're focusing on that, like some snowflake like Irwin Soto, you really have to take a look. Wow, you're really attacking the wrong person here. You're really misdirecting your complaints, okay? And if you've been sitting back and not doing anything and waiting for somebody like me to come along and serve this shit up to you, okay, then bitching and complaining about my style, because it shouldn't be the message and the way it's delivered. It should be the fucking what these people have done to you, okay? So take a look in the mirror. I'm not even looking for a thank you, but if you want to bark that shit in the comments, and I'm going to leave it in there. I am not going to stifle anybody's speech on that, because basically I'm just responding to it. You guys can put whatever you want in there. I'm not going to delete your comments. This is a free forum, and I'm trying to go keep it on the whole level of remembering what Charlie Kirk actually promoted. Now, I'm not saying anything about that guy, whether you think anything good or bad about him. That's not what this is for. But he promoted free speech, free forum, free flowing thoughts. And if you disagree with me, that's fine. But just know that I'm going to respond back to that in my own way. And I'm telling you, if you get a fucking problem with my delivery here, you might want to take a look at your priorities, because I'm not the one to attack here. So like I said, if you don't like these videos, if my style or the bluntness or the language offends you, fuck off. Then you go figure it out, okay? Because I don't want to hear it. I want to hear you babies bitching and complaining to me like a lot of you have been already. You know, I'm not a dick. I'm not going to start sharing emails because I'm not like that. But you know what? A lot of you, literally, I wonder how you walk through and deal with the real world, because like people are emailing me. They're sitting here, oh, 2-3 years. They're not doing anything about it. Oh, I'm so glad I got this Excel sheet. I'm going to get started. I'm like, okay. So all you snowflakes out there that have a problem with the word fuck or bluntness or my style, I don't give a shit. Okay, so just unsubscribe and don't listen and figure it out yourself. Okay, that's all I'm saying. No offense. All right, so back to this. Definitely, I talked about ChatGPT. Use that. There's a good tool in here if you want to redact documents, if you want to share documents, if you want to upload them to the Reddit group and the new Facebook group, which I'm about to get into. Very easy tool to use. It's right here. You're just going to upload your file, and you can black out your name, addresses, bank information, and then you just export it, and then you can share it with people. So that's what I recommend doing. So other than that, let's see. There's nothing really anything different that I wanted to address. The next thing obviously would be I made a new Facebook group. Okay, there it is. What do you think of that? I bet if Irwin and Donny see this, they're gonna they're gonna blow a gasket. But my response to that, Irwin and Donny, is good. Fuck you. You scumbags deserve it. And I keep referring to you as that. And again, it's my opinion. I'm allowed to say what I think of you and recount my situation and give you my thoughts, because that's what freedom of expression is. You aren't going to do a shitting thing about my opinion of you that I put on a public forum, and I think you guys are fucking thieves and liars and cheaters and stealers. I don't know that you are. It's my opinion, okay? And I can say it, and it's only going to get fucking worse. It's only going to get worse because you fucked with the wrong person, okay? You guys got to be careful, because I'm not even going to get into it, okay? Because every time I think of these two, I know I'm not alone here with the emotion that comes up with what these guys potentially did. Okay, so let's just leave it at that. My opinion. This is from my experience, and I have a lot of evidence that backs it up. That's the critical thing. And I know there's a lot of people out there that you guys are listening that you have it too. So use this group. Use my Excel sheet. Use the comments in the YouTube videos. Anything you can to push back on these guys. Okay, so this was just formed a day ago. So like there's not many people in here. Obviously, when more people request to join, they answer the questions, I'll admit you. Not a big deal. But this is where you really can share your experiences with other members that have been affected. I made this group private because that's the way it should be. Okay, so there's I made a bunch of posts. I'm probably gonna just upload a lot of my YouTube videos. Here I just put some stuff, how to redact sensitive documents. I shared that copy. Some quick notes. I kind of really made an attempt to really get some stuff going here with the post. So we'll see how serious you guys are. If you really give a shit about fighting back with these two dipshits up here, use the group. We'll see. It's actually for you guys. Like I said, I have my own thing going on that I'm almost done with. Okay? And I'll reveal that at the time, but I don't need you guys. I don't need this. I have my own method. I don't need a class action. I don't need to take it to the be a lead plaintiff in anything. I have my own method here that I've been working on for a long time. I'm just doing this to just spread the awareness. It's exactly what this group says, the title. Victims in Action Hub. So you be the judge. If you want to join. If you want to participate. But it's here. This Excel sheet is here. And then, you know, I have the free Reddit forum. There's nobody that needs to. I think you can just join this. I don't remember when I made it. Like, I just made it public, so anybody can kind of just, I think, post on here. I'm not sure, but there's traction. People are viewing these posts, and that's good. And this is only a couple weeks old, so I'm hoping, you know, this thing will outshine me when I'm collected all the money here that I needed to collect, and I put this behind me. Hopefully this will be up for a while, just to spread awareness for companies like this. Because at some point you have to understand, this Ecomm Partnership LLC, these two assholes, Donnie and Irwin, the jig's going to be up. They got away with this for a number of years, probably for a good 4 or 5 years. They collected a pile of money from people. They fucked people over. They ran with the money. And now you see the hammers coming down, and the cool thing about the internet and all this social media, which I kind of despise it in a way because it's really like a cancer on society, but my view too, it can be good because, you know, you can't run from the truth. These guys can't run and hide now. You couldn't find them on the internet about a year ago. It was very sporadic. You know, they don't make any videos. They don't have any and the funny thing is, when I questioned Irwin and my mistake about 2 years ago when I was talking to this asshole, I'm like, let me do my due diligence. Give me some of your clients. I want to talk to some of them to verify that this is legit. I want to see what other people are saying. Nope. He wouldn't. I had to push him 3 times before I sent in the money, and I decided, well, all right, should I go listen to my gut or shouldn't I listen to my gut? Always listen to your gut. I should have listened to my gut. I should have smelled a rat back then because he was the rat. He didn't provide any of that. And that's, you know, you get to a point where you want to be a business owner, you want to do something, you're excited about investment, you want to, you know, have more well-being in your life, you want to move stuff forward. Sometimes that stuff clouds your judgment. So always listen to your instinct. I should have with this asshole, but I didn't. So that was a red flag. But now the jig's up. Now he's on Better Business Bureau. Now the complaints are pouring in. Now the Google reviews are coming. Now I'm sure multiple reports are going to the FTC, and this is what happens to people like these fucks. Because I know what they're about. They're not the only ones that got sued. This Amazon automation bullshit. I'll go through a couple other big name companies that got hauled into court. One Up Services, and there's this other one called Ecomm Partners. I'll review that in another video. Mirrors this bullshit. So this crap is designed, in my view, in my opinion again, to take unsuspecting clients and investors' money. Set up nothing more from fucking these these e-com automation companies. And then again, that is my opinion. Okay? And I'm entitled to my opinion. I honestly believe that. So, also be wary of these two. I know this Donnie. If you take a look at his Instagram pages, and I'm just spitballing here, this is not factual. I am just saying what common sense leads me to believe. This guy could skip the country, okay? Irwin. I know he's in Texas. You know how I know he's in Texas? Because I had a private conversation about a year or two ago that he was moving. He was bitching about New York and the expenses of everything. He's from Long Island up there. He lived up there. He has a wife and he has kids. And I went over this in another video. He was asking me, because I was living in Austin, right? And I knew Austin like the back of my hand, Texas. And he was asked, well, I want to live there. And I'm like, okay, here we go. Another fucking New Yorker coming down to Texas and fucking ruining it. Here we go. Californians, people from Illinois, New York, classic, right? So I'm like, okay, here's another one. And so I, went on my way to tell him like where to look and tell him a little bit about Austin and all this shit. And, he's like saying, oh, I'm looking to spend, $600,000 to $800,000 on a house. I'm like, fuck, man, $800,000. Like, I'm thinking, Jesus Christ. So I'm like, all right, I kind of steered him to like a little pricier area. Because Austin's motherfucking expensive, and it's being driven up by like assholes like this moving in. So anyway, why I bring it up is, this guy has money. If you look at his Instagram pages, you look at Donnie, he's always traveling. So Donnie is the one that I got red flag on. That guy could skip. I know he lives in Los Angeles. I have his address. You just can look him up. He doesn't hide. He's very easy to find on the internet. He had some other digital photography company. I don't know what happened to that. Just looks like the typical LA immigrant douchebag that comes here. It's what he reminds me of. Just looks like a fucking asshole with his, you look at his Instagram pages and you can see what I'm talking about. So, again, it's my opinion of the guy. I'm entitled to my opinion on the guy, and I'm going to shit on him because I think he's a joke. So just be wary that, press these guys now while you can, because if they get a lot of pushback, if they get a lot of lawsuits filing on them, if they get a lot of people coming through the woodwork, and Donnie and Irwin, it's gonna fucking happen, you two scumbags. And my thing is for the clients out there that's been affected, don't be surprised if you see bankruptcy on their part or they skip town. Okay? I don't know if they will, but everything leads me to believe that that could be a possibility. So just be aware of that. You guys could wind up with a big fat nothing. Okay? So, just let it be a learning lesson. This is a fucking learning lesson for me. That's for damn sure. So, anyway, with that being said, that's kind of what I wanted to say. I hit the Excel sheet, the Facebook group, Reddit group, the redacted PDFs, and I just wanted to make comments on where I think what's coming for these clowns. You got to understand, too, these from my final note, if you want to take these guys to court, you're going to have to understand that I know they collected a lot of money from numerous suckers, I call them. But the real term is clients, right? No offense, guys. We all got suckered into this shit. And we've all been taken and we've all had complaints. But, this stuff, there's a lot of money that they took in. Just think about that for a minute. 25,000. Let's just focus on the 25,000 that I paid. But I know there's people that went years ago that bought into it for less, and now I'm guessing they're charging people more. Who knows, right? So just think about that. Imagine if they have 100 people as clients, and they took in, let's just say 25,000 for the buy-in. You do the math. And then all the wholesale ordering, private label, everything they're raking in, they invoice you, we need a website for Shopify to look good for the suppliers. You remember that? How many of you people paid the $7.49 to have these assholes give you some half-ass shitty Shopify site that you don't need a few months after? And then you have to go to them like, why am I paying for this? Like, do I really need this? And then Donnie was like, no, you don't need it. You can cancel it. I'm like, oh. Thanks for letting me know, motherfucker. But this is what they do. They take your money, and it's like, where does it go? Got a pretty good idea. Just look at their Instagram pages. Look at the Porsches. Look at the Maseratis they're laying on. Look at the lifestyle. Look at where Donnie's travels are. It's not hard to figure out what's going on here. Again, that is my opinion. I'm entitled to it, and I'm protected by free speech. Okay? So I'm not accusing anybody of wrongdoing. I'm merely speculating on what they did to me, and one could have common sense and apply logic to this whole thing. And I'm sure there are a lot of people that agree with me. If they are, put it in the comments. If you disagree, put it in the comments. I'm not going to delete comments. Okay? So if you want to defend these clowns, drop it in the comment. But just be prepared to get pushback, all right? So that's it. That's what I wanted to say. And, hope you got something from it. Till next time. And there will be a next time.